Who wants to play? Do you all want to play, YouTube? You want to play? All right, that's a little creepy. I'm no Nikki Cross, but had to in honor of her, well, maybe possible main roster debut. Maybe just a little, of a one night thing for now. Being like the Survivor Series. Not sure because she took a loss, but it could have been. I'll get to it later on, but I had to in honor that do my Nikki Cross entrance once again with the whatnot, just for the hell of it. Guys, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993, coming to you live once again for another live review of SmackDown Live from the November 6th, 2018 edition of SmackDown Live. That last night's garbage episode of Raw took place in Manchester, England. And overall, I mean, I know I forgot to change my grade down in the description, so ignore that grade. I'm going to go through the show again and then decide towards the end what grade I'm giving. Lean towards a B+ for this show, I'd say so far. A B+. I know it has this B. I never forgot to change it, so I'm leaning towards a B+. But I thought this show, once again, it wasn't, completely perfect, completely outstanding. We had a couple pretty good moments in the show tonight, especially a really good luchador match, as I gotta say, between two, luchadors that I would love to personally see a pay-per-view match from them sometime. But the storytelling was pretty good on the show tonight, and for both products we got. Few little nitpicks though, but other than that, I think this, of course, is just a refresher. You watched Raw last night, and once again, I come upstairs all tired out, in a little bit of pissy mood, going, I don't care. But tonight's episode of SmackDown, and like most SmackDown episodes this year, wake me up and just appreciate what the art's all about for the show. And of course, tomorrow we get the NXT. It's another story because, NXT is on a whole other level right here. But of course, let me take a power drink. All right. So, with that being said, let's get into this live review of SmackDown Live. But first, as always, let's see who we have in a live chat tonight. Oh, we've got Robbie. Oh my God, Mikey Cross over here. Mikey Cross. I actually kind of like that name, Mikey Cross. It's a lot better than Mikey Cyrus. We're not going to go there, but I was once nicknamed Mikey Cyrus, so I'm not going to talk about that in that squeaky Alicia Fox voice, because this is the old Noam Dar, but Noam! No. I definitely agree. What's up, Lauren? She said, finally, Nikki Cross made her debut. Again, I'm not sure if it was her complete debut. Maybe it might hold off seeing her against after Survivor Series, but I thought that could have been at least a little bit of a treat since, they were in England and they're both Irish from Scotland or Glasgow, Scotland, wherever heck it is. Well, not both of them, but Nikki Cross at least. So could have been a little bit of a treat, but I say we will hopefully we'll see her full time for Survivor Series. But once again, it's going to be the Sanity. Sanity's a heel on the main roster, and Nikki Cross was a babyface in NXT. Not sure if they'll merge their dynamics together or what's going to happen. Not too sure. We'll have to see what goes down there. SmackDown was an A, but could have been better. Orton on Survivor Series, why not? I definitely am surprised that Orton was not in any consideration for Survivor Series. I definitely was surprised that Orton is not going to be at Survivor Series. And Shane on a team again, yep. Noam is definitely doing better on 205 Live and NXT UK recently. Yeah, because one, Triple H is taking over, is writing for him now. And two, he doesn't have Alicia Fox. Ow! I literally just ball tapped myself with the microphone. A little TMI there, but I literally just did that. That's what you get. Anyways, Miz turning face soon. I don't know. I've heard the rumors, and apparently what happened at Crown Jewel was supposed to start just kind of start a Miz face turn. I still feel it's not the right time yet. I feel like one, I still feel the Miz would be flat as hell as a babyface, and two, again, he's about to enter the world title picture. I really don't think the character he has going right now is what's going to make him, a world champion. I think a face turn could hurt that a little bit. So I personally am not for Miz turning face yet, at least. I mean, I'm really not a fan of Miz being a face in general, but I just would like to hope that they would wait a little bit longer, as far as that goes, in my opinion. Ray versus Randy feud. She's down with it. I'd be cool with that as well. And no Joe or Jeff at Survivor Series either. No, Joe is going to be at Survivor Series. Him and Jeff had the match tonight. The Survivor Series is looking bad, to be honest. I kind of disagree. I mean, the matches at least sound promising than the original Survivor Series card we had last year. I mean, last year we were going to be getting Natalya versus Alexa Bliss. Let me see here. Well, we got Miz and Baron Corbin, but I was okay with that. A couple other matches. We're going to get Rollins and Ambrose take on the Usos, which could have been a pretty good match. We still got the Bar and the Usos, though, but that was still a good match. But of course, the big one, the big match that Vince was so excited about. We almost got Brock Lesnar versus Jinder Mahal last year. I repeat, we almost got a champion versus champion match last year between Brock Lesnar and Jinder Mahal. I think this card this year sounds a lot more promising so far, in my opinion. But just like that, the SmackDown men's match is pretty much, well, the SmackDown's men's team is set tonight. The women's match is for SmackDown. We don't know for sure who's going to be at all if it's going to be on the Raw team yet, because Alexa Bliss apparently was supposed to be watching the action tonight, but she never gave us any updates on that at all. But yeah, would you be down for a Shane and Miz feud? Could be interesting. What's up with Miz and Bryan being co-captains? And team look better than Raw so far, to be honest. But the elimination matches, nah, she says. Oh, here's my thing. I want SmackDown to really kick Raw's ass, because the depth on all now, not 2 elimination matches, 3 elimination matches, which I had 3 in my Survivor Series predicted card, but we're having a tag team Survivor Series elimination match. Yeah, we're having 2 with the men and women, but we're having 1 with the tag teams, a 10-on-10 elimination match. You realize how the lack of depth Raw has for their tag team division, and how much bigger SmackDown's depth is. They don't have the Bludgeon Brothers right now because Rowan is out injured. But we'll get to that shortly, though. I'll talk about that shortly. Let's see here. Orton and Ambrose will somehow be in Survivor Series in some way. You'll see. I agree, definitely. They'll still be there. Watch Brock versus AJ main event. And you know what? Honestly, I would not mind that, because AJ has not had a main event match yet since being champion. He hasn't. And besides Clash of Champions and Fastlane, the SmackDown only pay-per-views. But other than that, he's not had a main event match. So honestly, I wouldn't mind. And of course, I got a new hashtag I want to get trending on Twitter. I hope AJ Styles hashtags beat up Brock Lesnar. Might be impossible. It would be easier to beat up John Cena, but maybe AJ Styles can beat up Brock Lesnar. Please. I would love to see AJ beat up that motherfucker. Brock versus AJ last year was Brock's last great match with the crowd, where he actually cared. I agree. That was a really good match last year. Let's see here. Becky versus Ronda should main event, to be honest. Honestly, as of now, that match has the best build, the best hype. I would love to see that match main event. The best story, simply told forward. I'd say go for it. If Becky and Ronda would main event this pay-per-view, I wouldn't complain at all whatsoever. it'd be an awesome match. Um, Hoping for a Joe versus Braun match this year, which wouldn't be bad. She's giving SmackDown a B. Usos picked New Day on the team, and AJ needs the win, but he won't, sadly. I know, unfortunately, he probably won't. It's crazy that Survivor Series is already 2 weeks away. It's crazy because they could have had more time to build up Survivor Series. But remember, guys, instead they had to throw in Crown Jewel just for the hell of it, and which has accomplished absolutely nothing except WWE did this to us. Ready? You ready to see what they did to us? Slapped us right across the face. And yes, I went all hardcore out there. Oh, I felt a little weird. I kind of slapped myself across the face like that. But that's exactly what the WWE did to us. They slapped us right across the face, having Brock Lesnar winning the Universal title and Shane McMahon becoming best in the world. Although I will give Shane credit for what he did tonight. I was happy with what he did tonight. Beat up Brock Lesnar, get it trending. I agree. Is Becky face now? I would love to say Becky's still a face because the promo she cut tonight was exactly all she needed to say. Once again, she's not being, full out heel. She's being, anti-hero, but she's just telling the freaking truth. But WWE doesn't want to say she's a babyface still. She's still a heel, unfortunately, but at least she's not, when she's not being a coward and she's not trashing the crowd, I'm cool. I don't think she's a babyface yet, though. It would be nice to, but not yet. I think either Braun or Miz will betray their team. That be entertaining. I definitely think that's going to be the case, definitely as well. Let's not talk about Brock. He's useless anyways, for sure. And just have AJ be a unified champion. That, or have him be the only champion. Like, have him compete on both brands. I'd be cool with that. Again, the Universal title's never had a good run anyway, so why not? I'm surprised heels got booed tonight. They're usually cheered in other countries. It's weird. Probably depends on also what nationality they are also, since we're in England. Yeah, man, I really slapped myself there. But I will get to the let's start off talking about the show. Let's talk about the first hour of SmackDown Live. So first we have Shane McMahon and Paige come out. Paige, was cheered wildly, but Shane McMahon was booed. And one, because Paige introduced him as best in the world since he won the tournament after replacing The Miz after The Miz suffered an ankle injury and whatnot. During the match, kayfabe wise. He came out and Shane was booed. Again, Paige was cheered though because we are in England, not too far from where she's from, Norwich, England, which she got a nice pop again. This is the first time actually, right, maybe earlier this year on another European tour had earlier this year, but this might have been one of the first times she's really been back to England ever since she came back. But Paige referred to the commissioner as the best in the world, and of course, I guess a CM Punk chant. But that Shane, he admits that he doesn't feel like he is the best in the world, which he humbly said that. Which I definitely respect the fact that they had him admit that yes, I'm not the best in the world, but what I did was out of impulse, just to pretty much show that he cares about SmackDown Live. Stepping in, let's help it out. Obviously saving Miz's job pretty much, since he threatened to fire the superstar who got to the finals and would not, and if they wouldn't get to the finals and not win the World Cup, which again I thought was weird because okay, what about the other ones? This guy beat two other superstars, but then those superstars he beat are still on the job and he doesn't. That's a little strange in my opinion. But that's what he pretty much did. He just wanted to, but he says this trophy does not belong to him, it belongs to SmackDown. And speaking of SmackDown, he wants to start talking about Survivor Series, which once again will be bragging rights, pretty much. I said this how many times? Survivor Series needs to be something different besides the one night a year where Raw and SmackDown collide with each other. One, we have dual branded pay-per-views, so we're going to have, I'm sure at some other point, we're going to have matches where, a Raw superstar will face a SmackDown superstar. Yeah, the only time we've seen it in the past couple years is the first pay-per-view after the superstar shakeup, because it can't be a draft. It's got to be a superstar shakeup. But again, as I always say, you can still have like a bragging rights pay-per-view, Raw versus SmackDown, but once again, put something else on the line. I had a poll here on Twitter that I posted. Let's see here. Okay, earlier I posted a poll on Twitter. I had 8 votes on it. What stipulation would you give the winning? What reward should the winning brand get at Survivor Series? And it got 8 votes. We have a tie for first, as 38% said main event WrestleMania. Like the winning brand, will have a match from their brand main event WrestleMania. Number 38 could be a Royal Rumble advantage. Which means you have a couple extra superstars in the Royal Rumble, or get some of the last spots in the Royal Rumble. 13% said 3 stars from the losing brand, or a write-in. And someone in the comments section, Adam Welsh, said extra picks in the superstar shakeup, which pretty much could be the same thing as again, a couple superstars with the losing brand, pretty much. Which okay, that will at least be something, not just they're the better brand. Okay, then what do they get for being the better brand? You know what I mean? So then he announces that the captain, though, for the men's Survivor Series team will be this guy. And out came Daniel Bryan. But then shortly afterwards, The Miz comes out. And then he was limping a little bit to sell his ankle injury. But Miz wants to be captain because, as he says, he should be world champion. He should have won the World Cup if he did not get hurt. And all this other shenanigans, as he said. But then Shane McMahon agrees, and then he makes Daniel Bryan and The Miz co-captains of Team SmackDown, which is interesting, once again, because, Daniel Bryan and The Miz obviously have a history together, and they don't really get along too well, if you know what I mean. So this night was going to test, how these two could really get along as they were putting together the rest of their Survivor Series team. And, of course, Paige later on would be revealing the members of the women's of the SmackDown women's team for Survivor Series. They then announced that later on we're going to be getting a match with Rey Mysterio and Andrade Cien Almas, and the New Day will take on the Usos, with the winner getting to be the captain of the Survivor Series tag team match, which again is a match between 5 teams from Raw and 5 from SmackDown, which is pretty much all the garbage on Raw against some of the, not so bad teams on SmackDown, and the good and the not so bad teams on SmackDown, pretty much. We'll talk about that shortly also. But then we have Miz and Bryan apparently agreeing that Shane should be on the team. And at first he was like, nah, no thanks. But then he accepts. And then we're going to figure out the final 2 members later on. Apparently Bryan wanted it to be Rey Mysterio, and he says, I'll only put Mysterio on the team because he said it. He came back, Bryan rattles off what all Mysterio done. He came back, he beat Shinsuke Nakamura. He then beat Randy Orton in the World Cup, and also recently on SmackDown he beat The Miz. So he said, fine. He'll be watching his match with Andrade Cien Almas later on, and if he wins, he will, allow Rey to be on the team. And they picked the main event to be a match where they'll each pick a superstar, and the winner of that match, that superstar will be the 5th and final member for Team SmackDown. So far, we got The Miz, Daniel Bryan, and Shane McMahon as their team. So anyways, we then have the Usos taking on the New Day. And these 2 teams, as always, usually put on pretty good matches. And I thought they did the same here again, once again. Big E, of course, had, a sequence outside of the ring where he was taking whichever Uso he had and running them into the barricades and whatnot. Of course, he had another moment in the match he tries doing that spear through the ropes, which always worries my friend. Like his way he lands, he's due to blow out his shoulder. Of course, the past couple times he's done as well, he's almost hit his ran into an announce table desk. So once again, Big E, you gotta be careful with doing that spear, my friend. But of course, my favorite part of the match still though was when Kofi did his trust fall. Like he'll jump so high in the air, turn around, look like he's like standing up, and just land right on his opponents. But as always, the Usos and New Day put on another good back and forth match. These two, have gone to war so many times, stealing the show on SmackDown Live for sure. But this time the Usos win the match. So the Usos win, and they're going to be captain. And then afterwards, they put over their rivalry, how they've gone to war with New Day, since, both teams have been on SmackDown Live. And you have the respect for each other. And our first act is to name the New Day to the SmackDown Tag Team, which, in my opinion, think about it. Bludgeon Brothers are out. So really the only teams that are available on SmackDown are like 5 teams that are probably going to be in the match. It's the Usos, the New Day, probably, technically 6, but of course the Bar and AOP now are going to take each other in tag team champion versus tag team champion match at Survivor Series. We're going to have the Usos, the New Day, probably, the Club, Gallows and Anderson. Sanity will finally appear again. And the Clones, who barely show up. But they're probably going to be in the match because that's the 5 teams of SmackDown. For Raw, let's listen to what we got for Raw. We got Team 2 Happy, Bobby Roode, and Chad Gable. Because that's what Chad Gable all of a sudden is Bobby Roode's biggest fan, which is still weird as fuck. The Ascension, who suck. The Revival, who now suck. The B team, go, 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 which, were tag champions a couple months ago. Now they're back to catering again. And Heath Slater and Rhino. Do they stand a chance at all against a team of New Day, Usos, Sanity, the Club, even though the Club are still booked like crap, and, well, the Colognes don't count. So that 4 teams still that could easily just wipe the floor with almost any of those teams. Any of them. Seriously. I'm dead serious. Like, for the depth of Raw and SmackDown, I'm rooting for literally whoop Raw's ass in this year. I don't want it to be like 4-3 right now. No. I want SmackDown to literally blow out Raw. That's how bad I want them to do with the lack of depth in these elimination matches. And I still, again, am not a fan of them doing the tag teams in a Survivor Series elimination match. It's pointless. So is the other stuff, but still, it's still pointless. It's a clusterfuck. It's not worthy, I still feel. But we're getting it. Here's the thing. I'd rather have this match be on the pre-show and then do another match I originally put on the pre-show for my predicted match card uploaded today. Buddy Murphy and Pete Dunne. UK champion versus Cruiserweight champion. I think that would be much more worthy to watch on Survivor Series than a 10-on-10 elimination match between 5 tag teams, and not even half of them feel relevant at all. It's just sad. I mean, if they had AOP or the Bar, they feel a little more relevant, but they're tag team champions, so they have to be in a champion versus champion tag team match, which that could be an interesting match. We'll see what goes on with that. Yeah, we'll see. So New Day are going to be on the team, but the Usos are captains. Then we have Becky Lynch come out. And Becky comes out and she says, she wants to know who the hell Ronda Rousey thinks she is to tell the champ anything. You hold a championship, but you are not one. Yet. Becky says she wasn't handpicked like Ronda. But here she is. Ronda hasn't been tested yet, which is true. She's only had to face the likes of, Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss so far, and Nikki Bella, of course, dear God. Even though that match didn't disappoint, but it was still kind of forgettable. But when she faces the man, her body will be let down by her weak mind. Once again, Becky just being straight and to the point, not bashing the crowd, just telling the truth. It is all true. Ronda Rousey, is successful, but she didn't have to scratch and claw like Becky Lynch has. Yep, Ronda, really, laid it into, when Becky was doing this, Ronda was doing this. It was, in some ways, looking like Ronda Rousey was pretty much putting down Becky Lynch. So, even though Ronda Rousey's a babyface on Raw, we're supposed to hate Becky Lynch for, having a lower life and scratch and clawing into the top where she is now than Ronda Rousey had to do. Once again, an awkward situation that makes it harder for Becky to be a full-fledged heel, which is, again, why, if you're going to do this, more aggressive attitude for Becky, she needs to be an anti-hero and not a coward. I honestly, again, I'm starting to think that Becky Lynch needs this win more than Ronda. Like, I feel Ronda has nothing to lose. Becky, I feel, a loss to Ronda Rousey, at Survivor Series with the role Becky Lynch has been on. I feel like Becky could use this more than Ronda, honestly. Ronda will be fine. Like, Ronda's going to be facing a bunch of crap. She's going to be facing Nia Jax next. Who knows what she'll be feuding with that towards? Maybe we'll see Ronda and Tamina. Did I just say Ronda Rousey versus Tamina? I'm good. Sorry. I'm sorry. I should not have, made myself sick like that. Ronda Rousey. I'm not going to say it again. No. How about Ronda Rousey and Ember Moon? How about Ronda Rousey and Sasha Banks? It's sad that Nia Jax has turned face and heel how many times, and Sasha Banks still hasn't turned heel yet. But so yeah, until we get to Charlotte, don't know what the hell is going to happen with Ronda Rousey after she gets past Nia Jax. Once again, don't face myself sick again. But anyways, Becky Lynch then says, you know what? I'm feeling fired up tonight, and I want to fight. So she's pretty much issued an open challenge, and then Sanity came out though to the music, and I'm like, wait a minute, is it what I think it is? And Eric Young pretty much pointed behind him, and out came NXT's twisted sister, Nikki Cross, who got a pretty good pop because once again she's from Glasgow, Scotland, or if that's the right pronunciation. So she got a good pop because it's not too far from Manchester. So she gets into the ring, and then she gets into the ring, and then Becky Lynch's like, Nikki Cross, you want to go one of the champs? And Nikki was like, let's play, Becky. Let's play. Let's play. Let's play. So we had the match. I thought it was a good match. I mean, I thought it was an awkward time for, Nikki Cross to be facing Becky Lynch at a time where it's like, okay, neither one of them could really afford a loss, even though they had. The only thing I'd say I wasn't a fan was the finish, because you don't really get to see Nikki Cross tap out that often in NXT because it feels a little bit out of character because she enjoys pain, as was emphasized in her feud with Shayna Baszler. So I was kind of hoping, if anything, maybe one of them would win by like a roll up. The fact that Becky got Nikki to tap out again just felt a little bit out of character. I felt for Nikki Cross, but I thought that was a good match. I mean, Becky looked great in the match. Nikki Cross, I thought, looked pretty solid as well. Hanging with Becky Lynch in general. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is like a one-time thing for now, and then maybe she'll be up full-time to Survivor Series, or if this was her for sure call-up. I liked it. I mean, I don't think it's a lot of people think, oh, it's the burial of Nikki Cross. I mean, I don't think it is completely yet, because Nikki Cross is not someone who, I think was meant to be undefeated or anything, and she could afford a loss. Like when Charlotte came up for like one night from NXT, and she had a random match against Natalya in like early 2015 or late 2014. I can't remember when. I remember it was before she came up with Becky and Sasha before Battleground. in 2015. But there was a match I remember on Raw. Charlotte came up to face Natalya, and Charlotte just lost. And I'm like, okay, but Nikki Cross again, she'll be fine. I think she'll be fine when she comes a full time to the main roster. But again, I wish she would have had a different finish other than having her tapping out, because again, she's someone supposed to like pain and whatnot. I mean, yes, she was smiling afterwards, holding on to her arm, but again, it felt a little bit out of character in my honest opinion. But yeah, we had that. So anyways, let's check out the live chat once again. Let's see here. Where are we? Let me see here. I think we're okay. You okay? Did you slap yourself too hard? Stung a little bit, but again, I'm fine. Did you hear this? I didn't have a problem with Shane winning, but it made no sense. Yeah, again, it did make no sense. I mean, yeah, I do kind of like how they fall. I do like how they follow up with Shane admitting he's not the best in the world, but he did what he did to prove that SmackDown is the best in the world. He said. So I can swallow that. So I was cool with that. I heard a Punk chants. Paige will always get a pop no matter where she is. Oh, no doubt about it. She loves Punk, but WWE crowds need to stop with that. He's gone, guys. Yeah, I mean, I've accepted it too. I know he's not coming back. Shane had a point tonight. He wanted to protect his roster. Exactly. There's only 6 matches so far. Is it a 4-hour show again? It is. So there's only 6 matches. Yeah, but they're elimination matches. I'm sure some of them are going to be getting a good amount of time. And also, keep in mind, there was only 6 matches from Survivor Series in 2016, and that was, of course, a show where Brock Lesnar Goldberg squashed Brock Lesnar in a minute and a half, and the show ended at like 10:20 or 10:30. And you know what? If the show ends that early, fine with me. They all don't need to be 4-hour shows. But I'd be completely cool with that if that happened. It'd be nice if there was a title match. I definitely agree. I had no idea why the draft is not called the Superstar Shakeup. Who came up with that? Vince. Because you can't say draft, you have to say Superstar Shakeup. I give the winning brand main event or Mania or a title match of their choosing, which would make sense. She'd rather have The Miz as captain, to be honest. I mean, I kind of agree because, again, Daniel Bryan being captain would be the same thing as him being SmackDown Live general manager. But then again, we kind of already have, a heel captain already for Raw with Baron Corbin. So, I mean, I kind of, get it a little bit. Let's see here. Remember when WWE used to have matches to qualify for these types of matches? What happened? They had those matches tonight on SmackDown, but not on Raw. Instead of Shane, I'd choose Joe or Orton. No, Joe's in the match, not Orton. But Joe is in the match. The Raw tag division is pointless. Yes, she doesn't like Almas, but it's sad he's getting buried. I wouldn't say he's getting buried, but I think they are starting to take a little too long to kind of push him a little bit. Yes, he's had some good matches against some big names like AJ Styles. He had one against Rey Mysterio tonight and a couple others, but I do agree he kind of needs to start racking up some victories and not just having a good showing. I do think it's time he does rack up some victories. I wouldn't say he's buried yet, but yeah. Zelina, I heard, is injured. Yeah, I think she's injured, but then they said she's often some other type business or whatnot, so I'm not sure what needs to be. Rusev should have at least had a chance as well, but he's not, unfortunately. The SmackDown women's team is sucky, as I've said before. Alexa will choose Mickey, Alicia, Ruby, herself, and Nia if that's the case. I'm Team Raw for women and Team SmackDown for live for the men. Uso, the best team on SmackDown, and the Bar is second, she feels. Why are New Day always getting pushed? It's not fair. I mean, they're still, I still feel that they're not like, jobbers, right? They're not like, Slayers or Rhinos, no doubt about it. But again, I kind of would like to see the New Day do something different and just go after the tag titles, though. I still do agree with that. Yes. Sandy should be in for sure. Did you hear Matt Hardy return at a live event this past weekend? I did not hear. But but good for him if he did. Gable needs to go back to SmackDown. I agree. This again, Team Too Happy is not doing anything for me. Bobby Roode needs to be a heel. And Chad Gable won. They didn't have to split him up from Shelton Benjamin. I liked him and Shelton Benjamin's team. But also, they're going to make him a single star. I feel like he had more of a chance at that on SmackDown than Raw. So I definitely agree. Put Gable back on SmackDown. SmackDown's team have the advantage over Raw for sure. If Ambrose and Rollins were still a team, maybe Raw could have a chance. I agree as well. SmackDown doesn't have repeat matches and storylines. Exactly. Why not make SmackDown the A show, Vince? Because Raw is the flagship show. Well, doesn't have Roman anymore on it for now. What's up of corruption in boxing? He says Raw is arguably the most substandard pile of piss in Google wrestling, if that's what he meant. It pretty much is. I gotta agree. And the tag team elimination match should be on the kickoff, and the cruiserweight should open the show, which would be awesome. Do you think they'll have Murphy versus Alexander announced for Survivor Series? Actually, Alexander is not getting his rematch yet on 205 Live because he's been racking up some losses. So Maverick said until Alexander gets back on track and in the right condition, he'll get his rematch then. But right now, Ali is the #1 contender for the Cruiserweight Championship. So he could get it then. Or, as my suggestion also for Survivor Series, do Buddy Murphy versus Pete Dunne. That'd be an excellent match. I would pay to see. Becky is far better champ than Ronda. There's more. I mean, and mostly it's not Ronda's fault. Against Ronda's just had a crappy feud so far. But I agree. Becky's been savage on social media as well. I love her definitely. Becky is more of a tweener anti-hero, 1 to 2. I'm fine with that. Just don't make her a coward. That's all I ask. Don't make her a coward because everything she's been saying since she's made this attitude change has been true. Like, why should we hate Becky for this? Only thing she's really done that was not right was one, I put down the crowd the first night as a heel, and it has a few moments being a coward. Take that away, and Becky's been perfect. Becky has been absolutely perfect in the role she is in right now, and she deserves to be in that championship shot. Becky needs to go over, but Ronda probably will, which would be a shame. Ronda versus Charlotte would be great, probably WrestleMania. And Tamina won't face Ronda. Please, please don't. Is Nikki Cross a face? She is. She was in NXT, so I say for now she is. Sandy versus AOP seems would be a good match. It would. They had a great match at TakeOver Brooklyn 3 last year. They had a really good match there. Nikki's character is crazy, but she's talented. Hope they don't ruin her. I hope not as well. Watch Adam Cole debut next, maybe on Raw during the Royal Rumble week. I'd say Undisputed Era will probably be up either around the Royal Rumble or definitely after WrestleMania. They're definitely due up soon, though, definitely. Because they're just about done in NXT. Becky never buries anyone for sure. Becky is a face. Forget the politics. I would like to agree with that corruption. To the fans, Becky's a face, but to WWE, she's heel. Haha, exactly. Did Charlotte accept the team offer? We'll talk about that shortly as well. I meant to put Jeff in the match instead of Joe. Her bad. No, that's all right. But yeah, Joe's in the match. Oh yeah. Did WWE bury Shelton too? I don't know, but he's not been used much since Gable went over to Raw, which I don't understand that either. Why bring him back? I'm not going to use him. Do you see any NXT stars debuting at Survivor Series? Not too sure. I'd say maybe no. I mean, maybe Shayna Baszler, but not at Survivor Series. Maybe after Survivor Series, but not at Survivor Series. I mean, Aleister Black still has his rematch in NXT. So I'd say most likely, I'd say either Nikki Cross or Shayna Baszler full-time after Survivor Series. But I would say at Survivor Series. But thank you guys for the stuff in the live chat, of course. Let me continue on. Here. We have Nakamura backstage just talking about his match with Seth Rollins, just how, Seth Rollins has been losing a lot lately with Roman Reigns going away, and then, of course, Dean Ambrose not being his best friend anymore, and then Survivor Series is a different story. So he'll be a victim of Knock America. Where, again, it's just, once again, usual Nakamura. He's either backstage cutting a handicap promo or he's coming out doing a 5-minute match. Literally, seeing Nakamura anymore have a match just reminds me of the 30-second Diva matches. That's all it reminds me of because he's barely doing anything with the U.S. title. It feels so relevant you can forget it even exists. That's why it's on the list because it's just a piece of crap. Then we had Rey Mysterio take on Andrade Cien Almas. When Mysterio came back, I'm like, this should be a feud. Like this could be a good feud to put over Almas in some ways, even though he didn't win this match. Mysterio won the match to impress the Miz and Daniel Bryan. Well, more so to impress the Miz is Daniel Bryan wanted Rey Mysterio because he felt Mysterio as a team player. But this match was awesome. Two, luchador style wrestlers. Although I was disappointed that for some reason Andrade, the past time when Andrade's come out, I mean, yeah, I know Zelina wasn't there, but he's come out with a mask, with a luchador mask over him, and he's taking it off during his entrance. I don't know why he, didn't do it this time. I'm not sure why. But I thought him and Mysterio worked very well together. Their styles getting intertwined with each other, just two luchadors going at it. My favorite spot was when Mysterio. I like when Mysterio's done that. He's like that slide and dive on his belly underneath the bottom ropes, and to do more of like a crossbody or something like that on top of his opponents. But instead, he did that tonight, and he caught Almas and did a tornado DDT on the floor. Andrade had some great offense as well, looking aggressive as well. Mysterio as well during this match. Mysterio had to work Andrade down to eventually be able to hit the 619 into his little splash that he does after the 619. But again, I thought this was a really good match. I mean, really, this could be a WrestleMania match. I'm not even joking. Rey Mysterio and Andrade Cien Almas could definitely be a WrestleMania match, I feel. Does that be for a championship match? It could be just two luchadors going at each other, and it could be a show stealer. I thought it was a great match. Definitely, again, even though Andrade did not win again, I still do appreciate the effort he's had against his matches against AJ Styles for the first one over the second one, and this match, of course, with Rey Mysterio as well. And even he on the pre-show of Extreme Rules, he had a pretty good match with Sin Cara as well. So again, I know Almas is not one of my favorites, but I definitely do respect, that he can show that he can be a pretty solid, solid star on your roster. So I do feel it is time to start getting a little more seriously, start racking up a few wins here and there, and not just, he's been taking a lot of losses, though, as of late, I feel. So let's start getting Almas going a little bit more, I feel. After the match, though, Orton comes out and he hits an RKO. Wait, hold on. I lost my train of thought. Wow, sorry. Orton comes out as an RKO on Mysterio afterwards, so it still does look like we're going to be getting a Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton feud after Survivor Series, which I'm cool with that. It kind of makes sense with what Orton's going after these days, and of course Rey Mysterio is obviously getting the more hype, the respect than he feels he should get. First game, Mysterio is on the team, and then we of course have a backstage segment where Daniel Bryan picks who he wants to be face. He'd be in tonight's main event to pretty much qualify for the last spot of the Survivor Series 5-on-5 elimination match for the men. He wants to beat Jeff Hardy, and Miz says he wants it to be Samoa Joe. So they set up that main event match for later on tonight. We then have AJ Styles cut a promo on Brock Lesnar. That was pretty good. He's the opportunity to face Brock for the second year in a row. He also puts over the fact that his year-long title reign started right here in Manchester, England, which again was awesome to hear him say as well. And then how he threw it all at Brock Lesnar last year, but it came up short. But this year it's going to be different. He's going to overcome the beast because he is the phenomenal AJ Styles. You're going to go to Survivor Series, AJ. And last year, I was cool with, and I pretty was satisfied you weren't probably going to win the match. But this year, so bad. I want to see you kick the beast's ass so bad. I want you to start saying hashtag beat up Brock Lesnar because I want you to beat the ever-living piss out of that lazy-ass monster. I am dead serious. You need to beat that man. You can use that win so much more than that lazy-ass part-timer. I'm serious. I want to see you beat the beast. And even if you want to hurt his knee again and get him to tap out to a calf crush, that would be freaking awesome. That would be phenomenal. So hopefully we'll see it happen, but most likely aren't. Sorry, we're not. But yeah. But anyways, that was a good promo from AJ. And then we have the SmackDown Women's Survivor Series team being announced. We got Carmella, Naomi, Asuka, Sonya Deville. I kind of head scratched on that one a little bit. And then Paige announced last Charlotte, who last week, if you remember, Paige offered Charlotte to be captain, but Charlotte didn't feel she was qualified for the job. But Charlotte does not come out. So I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Does she get beat down backstage by someone? Maybe the Iconics or something? But out came, of course, Mandy. My top 2 best-looking women I had on my list are in the ring at the same time. Paige and Mandy Rose. Mandy comes out, and she wants to know why she picked Sonya over Mandy when Mandy had the better showing in that Battle Royale at Evolution, and she even eliminated Sonya. And then she just pretty much talks trash to everyone else, to Asuka, who's not the Empress of Tomorrow. That's the past. She trashes on Carmella. I can't remember what she trashed on her about. And then she trashes Naomi, saying that no one else feels the glow, not even your husband Jimmy Uso anymore. And then Naomi snapped and started beating up on Mandy. But then Sonya breaks up. There's this big stare down between Mandy and Sonya, which I'm starting to wonder, they're teasing a breakup between Sonya and Mandy, which kind of wanted it to happen to begin with when they first came over. Because again, I was interested in that direction with Paige, trying to get the two of them to, focus on just themselves and not each other, since Absolution was dead. But then they still stuck together as a team, and I just didn't get it. I didn't understand, why they've still been a team. So I wouldn't mind seeing them, be solos. I feel like, they could thrive a little more. Although it's starting to look like that they're going to maybe have Sonya be the babyface and Mandy still being the heel. I still rather be the opposite way around, because I feel, Mandy feels easier to get behind than Sonya. I don't know. Again, Sonya's okay again, but every time I watch her have a match, she looks like she's having like a really slow sparring match. I mean, I know we haven't seen Mandy in action as much, but I see Mandy. Well, probably one, she's hot as hell. I feel like she's easier to get behind than Sonya, in my opinion. So if they do tease a breakup, I hope it's Mandy who's the babyface and Sonya who's the heel. I still say. So no Charlotte again. If this does kind of follow up with Charlotte lastly believing she's not qualified for the job, then it's kind of something interesting going. So Charlotte's not confirmed for sure yet for Survivor Series. Could be Mandy. Could be one of the Iconics. Who knows? We'll see in the upcoming weeks. Then we have Samoa Joe taking on Jeff Hardy into like a 10-minute match. It was kind of a short match, so I didn't really get much to say. On commentary, on commentary with The Miz, of course, Bryan's explained why he picked Jeff Hardy. Miz explained why he wants Samoa Joe. Joe eventually wins the match with a coquina clutch on Jeff Hardy. So Miz is happy. Bryan though didn't seem as happy. Joe pretty much comes down and starts gloating in Bryan's face, and I'm not sure what he said to Bryan, but Bryan then just snapped and started beating the crap out of Samoa Joe, putting him in the yes lock in the ring. And The Miz comes out to calm him down, but then he starts brawling with The Miz. Then Shane tries to break things up, but then Bryan, who thought Joe was behind him, Bryan then takes out Shane with a judo throw or something like that. But then of course Bryan notices what he just did and he starts to walk away. So already SmackDown team's all set, but there's some cracks in it, of course. With Bryan having issues with what Samoa Joe did to him and AJ last week. And, obviously, even though Bryan's trying to, trust the Miz is still kind of, pushing his buttons a little bit. So, don't know what's going to happen. So, obviously, he's in some tension there as, obviously, Survivor Series 5-on-5 elimination matches are going to involve, faces and heels mixed together pretty much, which, could help, start, capitalizing on, other feuds to happen, after Survivor Series as well. If there's a Bryan arc on another match for a while, maybe you'll have Bryan and Joe. Or, we could have Orton and Bryan also, but it's not like we're going to have Orton and Mysterio, though, afterwards, which is cool with me. Of course, no one's facing Nakamura anytime soon, it seems like. Or we could be having a fatal four-way for the championship with Styles, Joe, Bryan, and Miz, maybe at TLC, and that's when the Miz wins the championship. Not too sure, but yeah, we'll see what happens next week, guys. That ends this, pretty strong episode of SmackDown Live tonight. I mean, I enjoyed things for the most part. Again, the main event was all right. I guess I'm okay. I'm not completely cool with, the SmackDown women's team because I don't know why they picked Sonya. In my opinion, I would rather have had Mandy because I feel like it would make a little more sense. AJ's promo was good. Mysterio and Almas had matches of the night, I felt. Becky's stuff was good. Her match with Nikki Cross wasn't too bad. The Usos and New Day wasn't bad either. And of course, the opening segment as well was bad. So I know I'll have to change it into the description box below. But I'll still give SmackDown Live a B+ for this week. B+ for SmackDown Live. Let's check the polls on Twitter here. 6 votes for grade. 33% said A. 33% said B. 17% said C. And 17% said D or lower. And what show did you enjoy more this week, Raw or SmackDown Live? 10 votes, 20% said Raw, 80% said SmackDown Live. Obviously, it was SmackDown Live's better show. It's probably Vince or Road Dogg picking that, of course, for SmackDown. Let's check the live chat again. Let's see here. Let me see here. Where were we at? Do you think Maria will be on the team? Doesn't look like it, but I wouldn't be opposed to Maria Kanellis being on one of the women's Survivor Series team. Again, the offense she showed in the match in the Royal Rumble, the Battle Royale at Evolution, I think she could go in the ring. So I wouldn't have mind seeing Maria Kanellis being there. Ali versus Murphy will be awesome for sure. They've had a couple matches on 205 Live, right? Especially their no DQ match a couple months ago was awesome. It'd be a shame if Nakamura goes over Rollins. I agree. Who will be Nakamura's next opponent? Apparently, it's supposed to be Ty. Last week when Nakamura faced Truth, but then apparently Ty had hand surgery. So I don't know. Since Mysterio's probably not going to be facing him, I really have no clue who Nakamura is going to be facing next. That title is so directionless. The U.S. title has been a demotion pretty much. The U.S. title already made my list. Ray versus Orton, maybe TLC in a TLC match. I don't think they're going to have when they have a TLC match. I'd say that, if anything, I feel we probably see a TLC match maybe out of Rollins and Ambrose for the IC title. I'd be interested in seeing that. Or maybe you watch. You watch. They'll have Ronda and Nia be TLC. Ronda and Nia Jax in a TLC match. No, thank you. Orton and Mysterio, though, could put on probably a decent TLC match. I don't see them being TLC. Ray does have chemistry with everyone. She's not really a Ray fan, but he's amazing. I'll give him credit, definitely. That RKO was definitely beautiful on Ray. She missed seeing the RKO, which, again, he didn't. Randy was doing it for a while, but probably because, because the crowd wanted it. He had to do when the crowd, wasn't paying attention to it. For Legacy, AJ must prevail against Brock, and I predict he will secure a victory, which I like to see happen too as well. So hopefully it's a heel. Or if the heel sure could be better, but it's been good. Still waiting for him to get that perfect feud and title run. I think it's going to happen soon eventually. Almas could be a good U.S. champion. He could if they give him a run. Fans boo Orton tonight. She thought it was shocking. And then again, I don't know. Again, Orton's still the heel though, but the spoilers were wrong. No Orton and Bryan feud. I guess not for now. If you had to pick the Survivor Series teams, who would you pick? Who would I pick? Let me see here. Probably Charlotte, Naomi, Asuka, and I picked the Iconics. Honestly, I feel like they're a little bit. I mean, even though they're not winning matches, I feel like they're still a little more interesting than Sonya and Mandy right now. I had that for the women's team. I think I predicted earlier Sasha and Bailey, Ember Moon, Mickey James, and Alexa Bliss. Even though I don't see Alexa picking most of them, but somehow she's going to. Who knows? Again, the tag team I already talked about earlier. Men's, even though I had bland predictions for my thing, I would say Lashley, Ambrose. Well, I don't want to have them all be all heels though. Just Lashley, McIntyre, and Ziggler, Balor, and Strowman, and either Corbin or Angle would be team captain. Probably. I'd say that would be my Survivor Series. AJ spoke fast. Exactly. AJ Styles better not get squashed if he does fuck wrestling. Yes. Hashtag AJ Styles better defeat Brock Lesnar's 504 reign. Yes. Was who the heck is Tuged? I'm not sure who that is. The women's team is all good, all excellent from except Mela though. I like her, but Sonya, really, I agree. Mandy getting a push. What the fuck? Why? I'm not sure again. She hasn't really done too much of, but let's see what else she can really do. She hasn't had a match in a while. Mandy face turn. Oh, Sonya face turn soon. Hopefully Mandy. Naomi and Asuka are a joke now. They're just a laughing stock. I do agree Mandy and Sonya are definitely still stiff in the ring. They did get called up too early. I kind of thought maybe they should have had the Iconics got called up and kind of do Absolution with Paige. They felt more ready. For Charlotte not showing up, that's a kind of a heel move there. I mean, it kind of makes sense if she didn't show up because of based off she didn't feel she didn't feel she was qualified. So I wouldn't say a complete heel move there, but I can kind of see that. At least Joe is getting a push, I still agree, but they should have capitalized for giving the title. I feel I'm mad Jeff lost, but he needed to be honest. I feel Joe did need it more. Joe and Jeff was the main event. Hey, getting tired. She'll still stick around though. Okay. Thanks for checking out my stream tonight. Of course, it was awesome. It'd be awesome if it was heel team versus face teams, or have just heel and face teams get along. It would be, yes. Getting close to Mania season. Hopefully they'll make great matches leading up to that point. I definitely agree, especially since I'm going to be there. Probably order my tickets next week. I think Joe versus Jeff was the match of the night, she felt. I mean, Joe and Jeff wasn't bad, but it was kind of short. I still felt it was Almas and Mysterio, though, in my opinion, because that match was freaking good. Corruption said Joe deserved the title. He does. She's going to check out Sweet Dreams. Thank you for joining us, Lauren. Team Sky, what's up? Saying power rank top 10 after tonight. Or top 5 after tonight. Top 5. Who would I say? Drew McIntyre, and let's start off in that particular order, but Drew McIntyre, Mysterio, Becky Lynch, AOP, and Dean Ambrose. I'll give those 5. I'd say. Apex is a disgrace in that wrestler. He claims. Sorry. Alexa is a disgrace. I mean, yeah, I do. I still kind of agree she's not that great of a wrestler. She's great in the microphone, but she's really been toned down as a wrestler. Definitely. Again, keep her away from the women's title for a while. Yeah, those are my top 5. But yeah, I think that'll do it for tonight, guys. Make sure to check out also my Survivor Series pick the card. I know most of my predictions are probably wrong now, but just watch for the views. I also made my turn alert for Nia Jax as well. She's a heel again. Tonight I will be starting a couple more video game lessons. I'm not going to do just one video game from now on when I do my video game lessons. I'm going to try to do like 2 or 3 at a time. So I'm doing another Wolfenstein mod. It's a short mod, but the maps are time consuming. So I want to warm up for the following mod I'm going to do afterwards, which is going to be a 37 map mod, and those maps are pretty darn ridiculous. I'll do a Wolfenstein mod, and two other older games that you guys might be familiar with. I feel like some of you guys will enjoy those when I do them. But other than that, guys, stay tuned for more coming to the channel as well. Tomorrow will be the trifecta, though. NXT UK review, 205 Live review, and NXT review as well, where I think we may be getting the answers as to why, Johnny, why. And then Thursday, special live stream, top 10 WWE and World Champs. That'll be this Thursday. So make sure to tune in live for that. And to stay tuned for more as always to come to this channel as always. So once again, guys, B+ for SmackDown Live. SmackDown is a better show this week for sure than Raw, which was a crap fest. What grade would you give SmackDown Live? Which should go better? Leave thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure as always to click my like and subscribe for more content on my channel. And you may follow me as well on Twitter at DemandAirborne93. And guys, I am checking out. I want to get started with those Let's Plays. I'll see you guys all later. So until then, guys, have a great rest of your night. And peace out, everybody.